Ditch the pick, let me introduce you to fingerstyle playing, and I'm going to give you 3 beginner easy fingerstyle songs you can start playing today. Fingerstyle playing sounds really complex, but let's not overcomplicate it. I'm going to show you the 2 methods that you're going to use anytime you're doing fingerstyle playing, and it's not as hard as you think. Okay, the first method is to assign your fingers. The thumb gets assigned 3 strings, the low E, A, and D. The pointer finger is assigned to the G, middle finger is assigned to the B, and the ring finger is assigned to the high E. If I'm playing a E minor chord, that's hearing all the notes at one time. And obviously I can have songs that have patterns that break it up, but the assignment of fingers is going to be on each of those strings given. Okay, the second pattern is what's called Travis picking, and this is probably the most common you're going to run into because most songs have a 4-string combination for finger picking. So when you have a 4-string combination, let's just say it's the A, D, G, and B, you would assign your thumb to the lowest 2, the A and D, then the pointer to the 3rd, and middle to the 4th. That way you're only using 3 fingers for 4 strings. The thumb is handling the alternate bass like that. Here's a C chord. I can go thumb, thumb, middle, pointer. I could pinch the 2 with the thumb in the middle, and then thumb, pointer for the center 2 like that. You can use it on a D chord with these 4. You can do it on an A chord, but any 4 group pattern, just assign the thumb to the lowest 2, pointer and middle to the remaining 3 and 4 strings. And that's it. We don't have to make it more complicated than it really is. You're either doing a series of notes one at a time using those finger assignments I showed you, or sometimes we do what's called a pinch, where we'll pinch 2 together, which is a great move because you can't do that with a pick. You know, the pick you got to strum down in succession of the strings, but with finger picking you could pinch 2 of the strings, still using those assigned fingers from the 2 options I showed you earlier. Let's get into some easy finger picking songs you can start playing today. And as always, I've included a free PDF downloadable cheat sheet down in the description below, so go ahead and click that so you can print it out if you want to follow along with the lyrics and chords when you want to play these. All right, song number 1, The Animals, House of the Rising Sun. This one is going to use the first method I showed you, where your thumb is assigned to the lowest 3 top strings right there, and then the pointer, middle, ring is going to be assigned to the G, B, and E. So we're just plant down this A minor chord here, and we're going to start on our thumb on the A string, and we're going to hit thumb on A, thumb on D, just going down the chord, pointer finger on the G, middle finger on the B, and then that ring finger on the high E. And it literally goes in order of the chord like that. Now, it doesn't quite sound like the song yet because the rhythm has to be there. The song goes. Okay, so we want to just make sure that the D and G string notes, the one that you do right after that first one, they just get played a little quicker. They're 16th notes. So just those 2, roll past them a little faster and that rhythm will come to life. Okay, now when you finish the high E, just come back to the B and then the pointer and the G. That's it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It's a 7-note pattern. Now, we're going to do the same exact thing with our right hand, just change it to the C chord. Same rhythm and everything. Now we're going to go to the D, same rhythm, but we're going to start on that D string now because it's a D chord. We're going to start on the 4th string. Still our thumb because that's what it's assigned to. Now we're going to roll down that same pattern, same rhythm. But we need 7 notes, so we don't have enough strings for that. So what they did is they doubled the high E note. So just repeat that high E and come back again for the B and G strings with your middle and pointer. And now the F chord comes up, same exact right hand notes as the D, starting on that D string, fret your F chord, thumb, pointer, middle, repeat that ring. Okay, then we're going back home to the A minor, same pattern we started with. Now we're doing an E major. Our thumb is going to start on the low E and drag it down for the first 1, 2, 3 notes on there. And then the pointer finger catches that G. And then come backwards with the ring, pointer. ring, middle, pointer. And then A minor, and then one more E major. I really hope my videos are helpful to you. If they are, if you could slide on down and hammer on that like button, it really does help the channel. And subscribe if you haven't already. This way you get alerted when I put out new videos. I really appreciate all your support. Song number 2 of your fingerstyle journey is Bob Dylan's Blowin' in the Wind. And this is one that only has 3 chords, 2 parts to the whole song. I'll show you exactly how to play it. Let's throw that capo on 7 so we can match the key of the song. This one's going to use the second pattern that I talked about in the beginning of the video that uses a 4-string grouping, and our thumb is assigned to the first 2 strings, the bass C notes of the chord, and then pointer for the 3rd string and middle for the 4th string of the pattern. There's only 3 chords in the song. It's a G, C, and a D. When you do the G chord, we're going to be using the low E, D, G, and B strings only. No A, no E with that. So when you do the assignment of fingers, remember that thumb handles the low 2, pointer, and middle for the last 2. No A string, we're skipping over that. So the pattern for the G chord is we're going to pinch the low E and B. We're going to play by themselves the D and G. Come on, back to that thumb, come back to the top, the B, and then 1 D on the end. That is your pattern for the G chord. Now, when we go to the C chord next in the song, we're going to be using only these 4. So again, thumbs assigned to those 2, pointer, middle. And what this pattern is going to be is we're going to thumb down the first 2 notes in a row, and then that pointer. Let's go back to the thumb, the middle, and then that thumb on the D. That's your C pattern. And then here comes that D chord. We're going to use this grouping of 4 strings. Thumb handles the low 2, pointer, middle for those. We're going to go right down the chord like we did the C. Thumb, thumb. That pointer gets that one. Come on, back to the thumb, that high E, and then back to that G. That's it. That's all we're due for all the chords of this song here. So the G, and now getting the timing right on this, out of this grouping for each chord, just make sure the first and last note of the grouping, you have a little bit more time to let it breathe. It's an 8th note, the middle or 16ths. Let me show you what that means. So when I'm doing the G, you can let the first note breathe, and then the center movements have to go a little bit quicker because they're 16ths, and the last note can breathe. So watch. Breathe, quick, 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 breathe. Happens for all the chords. Breathe, quick, 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 breathe. Breathe, quick, 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 breathe. Okay, if you got that pattern down for each of the chords, let me show you what the order of those 3 chords does for the verse. It's going to be one of those patterns per chord, so it's going to go G, C, D, G. Then G, C, G twice with the pattern. That's part 1 of the verse. Then it's going to repeat that idea 1 time each, G, C, D, G. Then it does G, C, D twice. That's how we made the song interesting with only 3 chords. It's kind of the order that happens. So let me give you a round of this. So we got the G, C, D, G, G, C, G twice. G, C, D, G, G, C, D. All right, the second part, the chorus, it's going to be the same 3 chords, just a different order. We're going to do 1 pattern of that C, 1 pattern of the D, 1 pattern of the G with that pinch, 1 pattern of the C, another C, 1 D, and 1 G. The last and final finger picking song you could play today is going to be Brain Damage by Pink Floyd. really amazing chords they use in here that are not very difficult but sound so cool. Using our 4-string grouping, most of this song is done with the last 4 strings. So thumb, thumb, pointer, middle assignment. When using the D chord, this is going to be our pattern. It's going to sound familiar. We're going to pinch the D and the high E. We're going to play the thumb and pointer on that G and B, and then go on back to the thumb by itself, back to the high E by itself, and then we're going to head on back to the G by itself. Breathe, fast, 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 breathe. 8th note, 16ths, 8th notes. You have some more time on that. All right, you got that finger picking pattern down. Let's walk through the chord order. We're going to do that pattern twice with the D chord. The lunatic is in the grass. And now we're going to do that pattern with a G7, but a really easy version. Just the pointer finger on the high E. Same pattern, twice. And just repeat that again. Okay, head on back to the D for the next round. Twice. Now, we're gonna slide this shape up. Keep the D shape, just slide it up towards 4, 5, 4. Still feels like a D, but they're calling this an E/D. If you wanna know about slash chords more, you can head to my other video that teaches slash chords, but E/D is this one. It is such an amazing chord. Listen to this one. So Pink Floyd. So that one's gonna go twice as well. Then we're gonna head to an A7. Let me show you that one real quick. This is just an A chord, but put your pinky on the high E 3rd fret. And it's still gonna be a 4-note grouping, but we're not gonna use the D string. Use the low A, thumb, G string, thumb, and then pointer, middle for that B and E. And we're gonna pinch the top 2, the low A and the E. And then we're gonna thumb and pointer that G and B like always. Thumb by itself on the A, and then that middle on the high E. And then back to the thumb on the G. So. And then back on home to D. And that's our verse. All right, for the chorus, we're just using 3 chords. It's a G, A, and C to do the chorus. You're gonna do that finger picking pattern 2 times per chord, and it's the same 4-note grouping. But because we're using a G, we're only gonna use the low E, D, G, and B. And when we hold that chord down, we're gonna pinch our thumb and middle, the assigned fingers, to the E and the B, play the D and G with the thumb and pointer, head on back to the low E, head on back to the B with the middle, and end with a thumb on D. That's our pattern for the G chord. Twice. Then we're going to the A. This one's nice because it is using the 4 fingers all in the center string. It's just the A, D, G, and B. And that same assignment of, again, no ring finger. Pinch the outer 2. Pick out the middle 2 by themselves. Come back to the thumb by itself on the low A. Middle by itself on the B. And with the thumb by itself on the D. And remember that rhythm. Pause, pick, 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 pause. Twice for that A. The C, same string to the right hand, just change that C chord. And then head on back to the G. And if the dam breaks, dark side of the moon.